advantages to being an African wife. Let me just tell you. There are advantages. No, now, seriously.
Such as?
Our men don't do 50-50 now. Our men will take care of you.
What's another advantage, though? So we already know the money is an advantage. So what's the next advantage?
When it's big, it's big. And then they can't take it when their wives cheat on them. Have you ever seen a man whose wife is cheating? Hey!
Upside down.
Do you think that men are crying for love and attention by sleeping with multiple women?
So,
yeah.
Tell us what the Nigerian men are saying.
So no, I've been listening to a lot of people and trying to get different people's perspectives on this issue that we have about why so many men are cheating on their wives and having a lot of side chicks and everything. And from more than 2 clips, I've heard these people say that this actually is scarcity of men. So you're finding men saying that sex is not their problem. They can get sex from anyone and from anywhere, you know. But then these same men who are all over the place with all of these women have wives. And then they can't take it when their wives cheat on them. Have you ever seen a man whose wife is cheating? Hey! Jeez, I'm not joking, yeah? They literally go mad when their wives are cheating on them. But they do it brazenly, like it's something, like it's second nature. Imagine if a woman said she wanted to get married to, which I'm going to do, get married to 7 men or have 7 men in different states. What would happen to me if I did that? Like they would hang me on a stake. Do you get? But then men do it and the society permits them, whether it is directly or indirectly, men are allowed to do whatever it is that they want to do without being accountable. You understand?
I don't understand. How do we get these men some self-control? Like, I feel
you should start selling self-control pills, you know, like supplements. Like supplements.
But the men would never buy them, but the women would all be buying them, trying to slide them into their husband's food. But I feel like how do we get men to value the things that are important? Because, you know, like they really walk around and they really feel themselves here. They be like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Like, okay. Like he's a very big man. He's a very big man. They love these titles. But it's like, what if the only way for you to get that title was to be so remarkable? Like you had the level of self-control that you were a provider, you did all of these things great, your wife was happy, your kids are cared for, and you're a good husband. Like good as in faithful, doing what your wife thinks is important, blah, blah, blah. Like, but it seems to be the very opposite because what contributes to them reaching those status is how many women they can do things to and or for. So like fidelity isn't even thought of. It's just like, I don't know. We praise them for being the things that we don't like or the things that bother us the most. But I know like it's real. Like we really need to dissect like why these men get turned upside down.
Do you think that men are crying for love and attention by sleeping with multiple women?
No.
You don't think that that is it, right?
Because I think in most instances they genuinely have it at home. Because from what I've seen, these women bend over backwards to accommodate these men. Like even myself, like I'd be like, somebody asked me yesterday if I felt like I was truly ready to be an African wife. I was like, my God, no, I'm not even gonna lie. It's too hard.
The advantages to being an African wife, let me just tell you, there are advantages. No, now, seriously.
Such as?
Our men don't do 50-50 now. Our men will take care of you. You understand? Nigerian men, they want to take care of you. They don't want you to lift a finger. You understand? So, and women like that.
What's another advantage, though? So we already know the money is an advantage. So what's the next advantage?
When it's big, it's big.
Oh God! But see, okay, so that's how I was trying to go
because
with it.
Tell me why South African women are fighting over our Nigerian men. Tell me why.
Nigerian men wear that as a badge of honor. They're like, women everywhere want me. But
Exactly.
the truth is though, is if you gave these women the same option, like, okay, I will give you a man who will provide for you. You don't have to worry. You don't have to do anything. But sis, he's going to cheat on your ass. And you don't know from who, how many women, and what he may ever bring home to you. You don't know what can come with it. So just assume everything in the kitchen sink is coming from this side. So then to me, like, because I know that I'm capable of working, I'm like, oh, no, let me snatch some of this like power back, and I'll be like, fine, I'll pay for a little something. You know what I'm saying? I'm making the money anyways. So then it's like, yeah, like they're providers, so that is an advantage, but that's a double-edged sword because that providing just comes with crazy strings attached.
It actually does. So usually, you know, we had earlier established the fact that a lot of Nigerian men feel oppressed, right? So there's that thing where the feeling of oppression, I don't know if oppression is the right word. They've been, let's just use oppressed for now until we find a word that best describes what it is that I'm thinking. They don't want to be murdered in their own homes. Like, they don't want it to be a murder to them. So because they don't want you to tell them what to do, or you telling them what to do might come off as being controlling. So they might rebuff, but not because they don't want to connect with you, but in that instance, it feels like you're trying to control me, so no, I have to. And then even for men who are, for lack of a better word again, level-headed, they're not as controlling as others. When they go out and tell other men that they take this shit from their wives, those men are like, what? How can you take that from her? And then they come back, and then you see the man is different. So you see, this is really, one, not knowing yourself as a man, and then two, embracing the characteristics that society expects of you. So that's something else.
So like, if we're just having the conversation of providing 100% or 50-50, right? It really is null and void because whatever works for you works for you. But no matter which side of those things you lie on, like, why is it that they believe that the providing entitles them to cheat and do whatever? Like, that is the problem. So not the providing. And I hate to make it sound like it's like either 50-50 and they're not cheating, or 100 and they are cheating, because there are some on both sides that are not cheating. And then there are some on both sides that are cheating. So how do we get to... And I also feel like when I have this conversation with Nigerian men, it doesn't even matter. They all like to point out the flaws in other societies instead of self-reflection and finding the best way for the Nigerian culture to be advanced. They're like, oh, but in America, you guys are 50-50 and they're still cheating. Like, yeah, but there are many, like, who are not cheating, and to the extent that they are 50-50 and still cheating, they have consequences for that cheating, because when they get divorced, they have to pay alimony, they have to, you know, there's other forms of spousal support. And can you imagine the pierce that must be in your side to know that you still have to be provided for the woman who divorced your ass and is seeing somebody else? Like, wow. It's like good justice. There's some things that are good under the law. Like, I'm like waiting for Nigerian law to catch up, because I'm like, can you imagine how, like, I don't understand why when it would come to money, it can get men to act right away. Like, if you tell a man that his bag is affected, oh, that nigga's gonna straighten up.
Because that's the standard that we hold them to. So because once a man doesn't have money, we consider him not man enough. So when they have, they're like, see, I am a man. You can't tell me what to do. I can afford to pay for all of this. I can afford to live this lifestyle. I can do all of these things you're saying. So why would you still, when I didn't have, you were questioning me, now I have, why should I feel questioned?
But you know, legislators here have an enormous amount of power, because if they were to write something into law that said that, you know, where infidelity is the cause of the marriage falling apart, that they would have to maintain the lifestyle of the woman, because obviously it's your fault. Like, you are the one who failed on your vows. And so where you're the cause of the marriage being destroyed, like you now have to maintain her level of lifestyle and watch the number of men who like
I think maybe that's the
cheating
that's
both ways overnight.
the discipline pill we're talking about. If we have if there are consequences for the way men act in marriages, like really firm consequences, I don't know if it would change anything. Because even in societies where there are consequences, they still do.
Do we think that if that were the truth, the side chicks would be helping out the wives? Like, can women ever come together? Because I know I often, like, I've had many instances in my life where I'm very pro-woman. Like, I went to an all-women college.
Myself too.
So it's just like, I think that women can stick together. And I think where women stick together, like, it's a very beautiful thing. But my PA be telling me all the time, she's like, in Nigeria, it's just not possible. Women do not support other women in a way in which can propel anything forward. So you may find some one-offs here and there, but I'm like, do we think that, like, the side chick is sending an Instagram to the wife, like, listen, sis, let me help you. And, like, let's expose this cheater. Do women here expose their cheating, like, lovers, like when they're scoring? Like, in America, we have all of these shows called like Cheaters.
Yeah, I used to watch Cheaters a lot. So it's funny because I like Cheaters. I like the look on the faces of the person when they're caught. Because I've met men who lied about being married before. So if I told you I've never dated someone who's married, I'll be lying, because there are men I've met who lied about being married, and I eventually found out that they're married. Some men will show you their wife's death certificate. Do you know that? I'm telling you, they'll go that far. They'll tell you they're not married.
To have created a death certificate for.
I'm not joking. So men will go the extra mile to paint a picture that all is not well at home.
The level of lies
Do you understand?
men will do
so
here.
The side chicks are not the problem per se. I'm not saying that there are no side chicks who deliberately go after married men and say, look, I want to date this man and I'm going to do everything. There are problematic women like that who wouldn't find their own stuff. I would want to bring down another woman's marriage, yeah. But then there's still the people who are clueless about the true picture of what happens in the marriage, because the men will not protect their wives from the side chick. Instead, they would paint a picture and make the side chick believe that I don't love my wife anymore. My wife is not the way she was when I married her. She's not as beautiful as she was when I married her. Do you get? They'll tell you all manner of crap and then go back and sleep with the wife on the same bed and make sweet love to her. Do you understand? And then the woman outside is feeling like, oh, he doesn't love his wife. Nah, lie. He loves his wife. They never leave their wives, funny enough. So I don't think
Nigerian men ain't shit.
they don't leave their wives. They don't leave them. They don't leave their wives.
They really ain't shit.
They don't. So I don't think that. But I also believe that there are women who call out other women for cheating. But here's what happens. I come to you, come to your DM to say, your husband is cheating with me. What would you do typically?
Let me tell you, I had that happen to me in college. And so I was in a relationship with this guy. We got together, let's say we got together in like April. So, like the college semester is coming to an end. Maybe it was like March, but it was like around spring break-ish after. So the semester is coming to an end. So in person, it was short-lived. So we go off to our internships. We were in different states. And when we returned to school, I didn't know this at the time because this is back when Facebook has like a folder for people who they think don't know you, right? So you have like no friends in common. So they're like, this might be spam. So they separate it. So I didn't know that at the time. But when I went back and I checked the folder, just learning about it, I started filtering through the message and I saw like maybe like a month or two earlier that the girl had sent me a message and she was like, oh, I just wanted to tell you that such and such, like he had told me that you were some crazy girl who was stalking him and that he didn't like you yet. And he was like, I guess like maybe he's on his way back to school or something. And so like a week earlier, he had dumped her.
Wow.
And so she was like that. She then saw that like we were in a relationship and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, but this whole time you knew about me. And you let him advance a narrative that, you know, whatever it was, I was a stalker, I was a crazy person, but you knew, right? And you said nothing. Like, you didn't come to me when you thought I was a stalker of your man. Like, you could have come to me as a woman when you thought that I was a stalker, and then we could have ironed some stuff out. But now you're telling me to be vindictive. Like, now you're just mad because he left you.
You want to use me to revenge.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I was like, you guys are freaking crazy. But the level of commitment to a lie here. These niggas. Like, to have shown you a death certificate of a woman who's still alive in